Good afternoon and welcome to a very rainy St Enoch Square, Glasgow. This Cafe Nero used to be the ticket office to the Glasgow subway, but that's the subject of my next video. For now, I need to grab supplies that I forgot to take with me from the nearby adjacent shopping centre. With that, welcome to Carl's Travel Channel's Quick Guides, where I take an in-depth look at elements from my main vlog videos. Please like, subscribe, and you can even now add me on Instagram at Carl's Travel Channel. Tonight I'll be checking in directly over there at the Premier Inn, Glasgow St Enoch. The first look here at the hotel. Well, I successfully managed to get a new hairspray from the boots just over there, which is directly opposite my hotel, the Premier Inn, St Enoch. So we'll go and check in now and see how that is. And time to check in at the Premier Inn. Well, as usual with automated machines, the check-in process was fairly complicated, and I scanned the QR code from my phone, which of course did not work at all. Even a member of staff tried it for me, so they had to manually enter all of the booking details. And you also must use the card to get in the lift here. Anyway, all good, so let's check out the room. My room today is a standard up on the 5th floor, so we'll just try and locate it. And yes, here it is, number 509. And, well, first time, the key card works, because it's one of those snazzy, new contactless ones. The usual key card activated, electricity. And very first look at the room, and first look at the room myself, because I'm not cheated and been in here before the camera. A nice large futon here, over at the back. So, to give you a little tour of the room, well, the first thing that's been noticed is I've once again been given a triple, just like on my journey I did from Cherbourg to Paul, when I went to the travel lodge there, and they upgraded me to a triple for my 3 imaginary friends. So the imaginary friends are staying with me again tonight, so one of them is staying over there on the futon, and there is a double bed for 2 people as opposed to 1 there. A useful slip from check-in with your room number to put in your wallet, in case you forget, like I often do. Moving over to the amenities. The desk area comes with tea and coffee making facilities, as you can see here. I'm not entirely sure if these are free, but I assume they are. And there is a breakfast menu provided as well, which of course is definitely not free. And as you can see, an unlimited cooked breakfast is $10.99. However, for this price, I think I would still rather go to the nearby Wetherspoons, which is just up the road. There's also a comprehensive drinks menu here with wines and presumably small plates, cocktails and spirits, beers and soft drinks. And 2 plugs there provided, and I don't know what this is. I thought this was a USB, but actually it looks like it's not anything at all, just a hole. And 1 more plug over there. Aha, but over this side by the bed, there is a USB there in the top of the plug by the bed, so that's good for charging your devices. And there is also 1 over there, the other side. 2 light controls, one either side of the bed for each person. And the bed is nice and soft and comfortable. I had a quick lay down on it, which probably makes it look a bit messy, but just to test out that it's okay. And as you can see, identical controls on the other side. And this nice mural here up on the wall. Now the all-important search for dust and grime begins. 2 negative things to note, however, though, which I discovered. There are 2 rather disturbing marks on the futon, which I don't really want to touch, but they look quite gross. And there's also some strange stains and marks under the desk. So cleanliness is not that great, but I've certainly seen worse. But yeah, around the edges of the room, it certainly looks a bit rough and ready, like over in this corner over here. Doesn't look like it's been cleaned very well. Now the all-important finger dust test. And the test to see how dusty the top of the headboard is. Yeah, there is a little bit, I think, a little bit. Not too bad. So let's move on and have a look at the bathroom. And well, firstly, there's me in the mirror, looking very tired after a long journey, of course. And start with the sink here, which there's some soap dispenser there, white tea and neroli. I'm not sure what that is. If you know, please let me know in the comments. And towels provided, 2 towels there. Another dispenser in the shower, and Very nicely done. There are two showers, one the rain shower and the one I prefer to use, this one here, because I don't like these rain showers because I can't tend to get my ears wet because they don't drain properly, so I won't be using that. There's also a little bin down there in the corner, nothing hidden behind the door. I can't see any shaving plug in here though, which is a bit of a bad checklist that there's no shaving plug. And there is a weird tissue dispenser there, tissue dispenser instead of toilet roll, which I don't really like the look of, but we'll give that a try later. Hopefully the toilet is clean.
I also didn't see any spare toilet roll.
Back out of the bathroom, there is not just one, but there is two very large mirrors here to see how beautiful you look, I guess. There's also a hairdryer there and some coat hangers, so like a small coat rack hidden behind the other mirror, and a strange bag thing up here, which I think, yeah, that's just extra bedding should you need it. The one thing to bear in mind, however, is this hotel cost me around £42 a night, so really what you're getting here is amazing value for money for that price, so you can't really fault it. A few other little finds here, like this bottle opener on the corner of the desk, which reminds me of the Travelodge in Paul.
And if you want a room party with your neighbour.
Also, there's interconnecting doors between rooms here.
This is ideal.
And the usual rubbish bin under the desk to throw out your old trash. Also, one common complaint in the reviews about this hotel was uncontrollable room temperatures, but I must admit they've made this very clear here on this little instruction piece of paper. However, I've not tried it, so I can't confirm for a long amount of time whether it actually does make a difference if you change. And one other thing to point out is if you're staying more than one night, the room doesn't automatically get made up by the cleaner, so you need to put this outside if you would like your room cleaned during your stay.
And indeed I can confirm my room didn't get cleaned without this out.
Personally for me, I think this is actually a benefit because I don't like the cleaner bursting in because I always wake up late, so for me this is a thumbs up.
Normally by now on my channel, I'm in a ferry cabin somewhere out at sea. Tonight's stay, however, feels suspiciously stable. There's no engine vibration or tannoy announcements. I think I've accidentally booked a building instead of a ferry. With that, good night from the Premier Inn, St Enoch.
Well, and good morning. That was certainly a much better night's sleep than I would get in a ship's cabin. And obviously one of the main reasons is it's a lot longer, about a 10-hour sleep as opposed to only about 6 or 7 at the very top that you would ever get on board a vessel. The bed was very comfortable as well, so I can't really complain about that. Back aching slightly a little bit, maybe that's because the pillows are a bit too high compared to how I normally have them. Anyway, I'll get up and try the shower and hopefully ready to head out soon for breakfast. Well, the switches on the shower were a little bit fiddly, and the water pressure is not the highest I've seen, but overall, definitely not too bad, and I think it was certainly better than the shower I had on the Grim Audi. So almost ready to go and head to explore breakfast at the Wetherspoons, the Crystal Palace, just up the road from here, near the Central Station.
I always love that feeling of excitement, leaving a hotel room ready to explore a new city. As you can see, the rooms from this hotel don't really get much of a view. As you can see, this hotel is located over 7 floors. Wow, this time I was very lucky with the lift. On previous descents, it was a very long wait. One of the lifts was even out of action for the entire stay.
Well, in the lift, and there's nobody else in here, so I can carry on filming. A little selection here of the different meals available and breakfast at the hotel.
As you can see again, food is from the Bar and Block Steakhouse next door. And there is the Bar and Block, right adjacent. It looks like they also offer one of those ghastly, bottomless brunches here too. But this is of course a budget travel channel, and eating breakfast in an expensive steakhouse is not my style.
And of course, as it's Scotland, there's plenty of rain.
We then approach just over the road here, my chosen breakfast place today, the Wetherspoons, Crystal Palace.
And arriving at the Crystal Palace.
Plenty of seats available, like this one here in the window, with a Glasgow tour bus opposite. I begin with the usual Wetherspoons unlimited coffee refills for £1.79 and an orange juice and lemonade to keep me hydrated for the same price. Here is the breakfast menu. As you can see, a myriad of well-priced options. Today I go for the Scottish breakfast, called the traditional in England, but it comes with 2 extra items. This whole breakfast minus drinks is an unbelievable £5.95. If you didn't spot them, the extra items are the black pudding and hidden under there, the tatty scone. Overall, a very delicious breakfast done for a great price. Now it's time to enter the subway for my Glasgow transport adventure. With that, thank you for watching Carl's Travel Channel's Quick Guides. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you of course on the next one.